Okay, so you want to own a five-star hotel. Picture it for a second. A grand lobby with marble floors, a doorman in white gloves, guests pulling up in black cars, celebrities checking into suites, and somewhere behind all of that, money flowing in around the clock. Here is what actually happens. Some five-star hotels bring in over $500 a year in revenue. Some five-star hotels lose millions of dollars every single year. The same category of property, completely opposite financial outcomes. Today, we are going inside the real economics. You need to understand what you are actually buying. Most people assume five-star means five-star decoration, fancy curtains, expensive sheets, a spa with candles. That is not how it works. 75% of that score has nothing to do with the building. It is about service, how fast the front desk moves, whether staff anticipate what a guest needs before they ask, how quickly room service arrives, and how it is presented, whether the person who picks up the phone sounds like they genuinely want to help you. The physical building only accounts for 25% of the rating. Luxury is not a state. It is an ongoing performance. It never stops. At 2 o'clock in the morning, when 90% of the rooms are empty and the lobby is quiet, the standard does not go down. The staff-to-guest ratio in a five-star property runs between 1:15 and 3 employees for every single room. Compare that to a budget hotel, which gets by on roughly 0.5 employees per room. Let us start at the very beginning, before a single guest ever walks through the door. According to the HVS Hotel Development Cost Survey, the median development cost for a luxury hotel runs over $1 million per room. In major gateway cities like New York, London, or San Francisco, that number regularly crosses $2 million per room. If you are building a 200-room luxury hotel in Manhattan, you are looking at a development cost between $200 million and $400 million. Land alone can absorb 10% of the total budget. Hard construction costs eat up roughly 68%. Furniture, fixtures, and equipment adds another 11%. Design and architectural fees, pre-opening expenses, and a contingency reserve. Most developers are not writing a check for $400 million out of pocket. They are borrowing most of it. The cost of that borrowed money runs between 6 and 8% per year. On a $200 million loan, that is $12 to $16 million in interest payments every single year before you have made a dollar, before you have hired a single housekeeper, before you have turned on a single light. The same hotel building can be worth completely different amounts depending entirely on where it sits. A five-star hotel in Midtown Manhattan can charge an average daily rate of $400 or higher. A five-star hotel in a secondary market might charge $250 for the exact same room experience. That gap in daily rate is the difference between a business that works and a business that does not. Construction costs vary massively by city. In New York, $335 per square foot. Chicago, $308. National average, $260. For every $1,000 spent on development costs per room, the hotel needs to earn $1 in average daily rate. You need to be charging $1,000 per night consistently to have a prayer of covering your costs. The average daily rate for luxury hotels in major American markets sits around $394. A hotel built at full modern luxury cost is structurally challenged from the day it opens. Almost every major luxury hotel has not just been a hotel, it has been a mixed-use project. Developers sell those condos before the hotel even opens, using that cash to pay down debt. The hotel is sometimes built on the back of the real estate sales next door. You probably imagine those brands owning the buildings their hotels operate in. Most of the time, they do not. Marriott, Ritz-Carlton, St. Regis, and Bvlgari does not own most of the properties it runs. Neither does Hilton, neither does Hyatt. These brands are operators, not landlords. The actual buildings are typically owned by a completely different set of entities. Sovereign wealth funds from Qatar, Singapore, or Saudi Arabia buying trophy real estate investment trusts, known as REITs, which pool investor money, private equity funds looking to buy a hotel, improve it, and sell it within 5 to 7 years. Pension funds and insurance companies looking for stable long-term returns. Wealthy family offices preserving multi-generational wealth. These owners then sign a contract with a brand, called a hotel management agreement. The owner keeps the building. The brand runs the hotel. The brand does not just take a flat fee. There are multiple layers of payment. The base management fee. The brand takes between 2 and 4% of all gross operating revenue. That fee is paid whether the hotel made money or lost money. The royalty or license fee runs another 3 to 5% of gross rooms revenue. A marketing contribution adds another 1 to 4%. Loyalty program assessments, roughly 2 to 6% of revenue. The brand is taking somewhere between 10 and 15% of your revenue in fees and assessments. An incentive management fee, which is a percentage of operating profit, One of the most heavily negotiated parts of any hotel management agreement. The single largest cost on the operating side. Payroll, people, labor, housekeeping, front desk, concierge, security, engineering and maintenance, chefs. For a luxury property, payroll typically runs between 32 and 38% of total revenue. Take housekeeping. A 200-room luxury hotel running at 80% occupancy has 160 rooms to clean each day. The brand standard for cleaning one guest room thoroughly is about 45 minutes per room. An 8-hour shift gives a room attendant 480 minutes to work. You need 15 room attendants working every single day just to clean the rooms. You actually need closer to 21 full-time employees just for room cleaning. Then you need supervisors, then a head housekeeper, then linen runners, then laundry staff. When you replicate that model across every department in the building, payroll becomes a massive, mostly fixed expense. A hotel room is not like a television sitting in a warehouse. If the television does not sell today, it can sell tomorrow. If a hotel room goes unoccupied tonight, that revenue is gone forever. You cannot sell Tuesday night's room on Wednesday. Sophisticated hotels use dynamic pricing systems that adjust rates continuously. The same room in a major American city hotel might cost $300 on a quiet Tuesday in February. That same room might cost $700 on a Thursday before a major trade conference. On New Year's Eve or during a major sporting event, it might go to $1,000, $1,500 or higher. This is not random. It is a continuous mathematical optimization running in real time. The rooms are not the most interesting part of the income statement. Room revenue has the highest profit margin. Somewhere between 80 and 85 cents of profit on every dollar. The rooms department has a ceiling. There are only so many rooms. Banquets and weddings. One luxury wedding weekend can generate several $100,000. The hotel knows exactly how much food to buy, exactly how many staff to schedule. It is the opposite of the uncertainty that comes with managing room occupancy. 30 days before the event, the client provides a preliminary head count. 10 days out, they lock in a guaranteed guest count. 72 hours before the event, the final head count is fixed. If the guest count drops after that point, the hotel still bills at up to 80% of the contracted per person value. The kitchen does not absorb last-minute cancellations. Corporate meetings and conferences are even more valuable. Corporate groups are far less price-sensitive than leisure travelers. A well-positioned luxury hotel can generate 20 to 30% of its total revenue from corporate meeting business alone. That revenue tends to arrive reliably midweek, exactly when leisure travel is weakest. Spa operations add another layer. 40-cent margins on every dollar of spa revenue. Local memberships that bring in non-guest clientele. The most expensive room in the building. The presidential suite, sometimes occupying a full floor, sometimes running over 2,000 square feet, can be listed at $10,000, $20,000, even $50,000 per night in the most extreme cases. It is not really there to make money from room nights. The presidential suite is there to anchor the hotel's reputation. The photographs of that suite appear every media story ever written about the property. The celebrities and dignitaries who stay in it generate headlines that no advertising budget could buy. The resulting media coverage functions as marketing that reaches millions of people. Some of those millions of people will book a standard room for $350. The fact that they are staying in the same building is part of what they are paying for. The presidential suite also serves a security function. Its private elevator access, reinforced entry points, designed to accommodate heads of state, royal families, and ultra-high net worth guests. Rarely occupied in the traditional sense, the suite exists primarily as a brand weapon. There is a cost that people almost never think about: energy. A luxury hotel consumes between 80,000 and 170,000 kilowatt hours of electricity every single month. Heating and hot water alone account for 35 to 55% of the hotel's total energy consumption. Air conditioning across a large building adds another 10 to 25%. Commercial laundry washes thousands of towels, robes, and sheets every single day, takes up another 10 to 20%. The energy cost per occupied room night runs between 65 and 110 British pounds. A drop in occupancy does not produce a proportional drop in energy costs. Sophisticated hotel owners invest heavily in smart building technology, LED retrofit programs, high-efficiency commercial laundry systems. The payback period on energy efficiency upgrades is often measured in months, not years. 5-star hotels have what financial professionals call high operating leverage. Your costs are mostly fixed. Your revenue is not. Payroll does not drop because fewer people checked in this week. Debt service does not go away because there was a pandemic. Energy bills do not shrink because corporate travel budgets were cut. Insurance premiums, property taxes, brand fees, all of it keeps running whether the hotel is at 30% occupancy or 90% occupancy. When revenue drops, it does not just shrink profit proportionally, it collapses it. During the pandemic, luxury hotels across New York, London, and Paris saw occupancy fall to single digits. Properties that carried heavy debt loads, found themselves paying interest on hundreds of millions of dollars while generating almost no revenue at all. This is not a hypothetical risk. It is a structural feature of the business. Recessions, geopolitical crises, pandemics, major terrorist incidents in gateway cities. Luxury travelers are by definition spending discretionary money rather than necessity money. They're the first to cancel. The hotels most exposed in downturns are the ones that opened recently, carry the most debt, and have not yet built up the loyal repeat guest base that provides some baseline of demand. Some five-star hotels are not primarily built to generate operating profit. Sovereign wealth funds and governments sometimes build luxury hotels to create international prestige. The hotel is infrastructure for economic development, not a standalone yield-generating asset. Developers sometimes build a luxury hotel, specifically to raise the property values of everything else in the development. The presence of a Ritz-Carlton or a Four Seasons on the ground floor justifies charging premium prices for the residential towers. The hotel loses money on operations, but the developer more than compensates through higher sales prices on the surrounding real estate. Integrated casino resorts take this even further. Major luxury hotels exist primarily as amenities to attract and retain high-value casino customers. The hotel rooms, the fine dining, the spa, they are subsidized tools for keeping high rollers in the building. The gaming floors generate the real money, and the hotel keeps the customers close. If you ask most people how a hotel investor makes money, they will say from room bookings. Costs do not fall proportionally because most of them are fixed. You end up with a net operating loss of several $1,000,000 and a loan that still requires its full interest payment regardless. The difference between those two scenarios is what the business actually is, not a cash machine, a high-stakes, highly leveraged bet on consistent demand, sustained pricing power. They are the ones who structured their capital correctly from day one, who diversified across multiple properties, who used the tax advantages and the refinancing mechanics to generate returns that the operating income alone never could have delivered. Behind every perfectly made bed, every white-glove doorman, every chandelier blazing in an empty lobby at 2 in the morning, that is the machine that is actually running,